Hello, this is McMulligan back with more Dark Souls. Today we're going to actually tackle on Sens Fortress and actually get our way up to Anor Londo. Now, first things first, we have to get past these snakes, and my weapon isn't necessarily the best for dealing with these guys right now. That being said, we got a trap here to help move things along. By the way, I have decided to start recording things in post because it's a lot easier for me to do commentary, like after the fact of the gameplay. Whereas when I'm playing the game, I have to have so much concentration on what I'm actually doing. That way I just don't die or get murdered, mainly in Dark Souls, just because of all the game's difficulty and everything associated with that. That being said, now that I've gotten that out of the way, you can see that we are doing pretty handy work of taking care of these snake dudes. Starting to use my pyromancies more. Probably a good thing, because I haven't really been using them too much despite getting them for the purpose of dealing with problems like that. However, these snakes are only really that big of an issue when they're in numbers. Other than that, not too big of a deal. But something to note about Sens Fortress here. This place, like I've said before, is a death trap. Kind of the final bastion of defense against anyone wanting to go into Anor Londo. Because you gotta say, Gwyn was paranoid as hell and did not want anyone getting into this place. At least anyone he didn't want in, anyway. We'll see that more when we actually get to the city. Now these snake people here, we'll actually find an item in the game, like in a level like later. I think that'll be in the next video, where we find an item that basically tells you a bit about these snake people. They essentially just kidnap people and lock them up in all these cages, which you'll see plenty of later on, and we'll actually unlock and save a very important someone from one of those cages. And I just let him just, backstep his way off of here. Now, I think I literally die right here or something. I don't remember, because I record these in week-long batches, so I record a week's worth of content in, like, one go. That way I can just keep uploading through the week, and if I have anything to do during the day, I can just upload it at some point during the day, and, that's that. No, I didn't die here. I remember dying here, or was that... No, that wasn't here. Yeah, it's not just the axes that are traps, you got all these, like, arrow shoots right there like you're about to see, and these things will mess you up, but at the same time you can also use them to kind of mess up the snakes here. Another thing to know about this area, this is where you're going to come across your first mimic, and that'll come later. And there are a few interesting items. I don't pick all of them up in this video, mostly due to the fact that my equipment's a bit not that great, especially for this area, and I'll come back when I have a bit more in the way of having my weapon be upgraded. And I'll just collect those, and I'll probably just have a video and Firelink of just showing some of the items that I missed along the way, and just talking about them if they have anything interesting to note, which I believe a few of them do. So yeah, snake guys, they're just kind of annoying. Usually I like to have a great shield or something, but, I'm only using the medium shield as of this run, at least for now. Second I get Havel's shield, which will come later, I think I'll use his shield, but for right now, this is what we got to work with. What in many playthroughs, actually, I'll go ahead and grind the golems back in the back in the basin and just get one of their stone tower shields. Well, it's not really tower; it's a giant round shield, but it is a great shield. And it's a very effective one, but it weighs a ton. I mean, granted, we're not really wearing full plate at this point, so the weight shouldn't matter too much, but it still can be a hindrance, especially if you're already wearing heavy armor. As you can see, we came across our old friend again.
So here I sit in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
Yeah, so you can see he's not necessarily the brightest tool in the shed. Nice guy, but man, is he not smart. He always gets himself into these little troubling issues with these traps, and then can't figure out how to get out of it. You kind of have to help him out to keep going, and then he'll eventually find his way out. I already helped him once before, now we're helping him again. Well, I think we helped him. No, actually, no. This is the first time he pops up. We're going to help him in a few different places. We'll help him here, and we'll help him in Anor Londo. And then we'll meet his one of his relatives later on in the game. Well, that boulder's coming by. Oh god. You know what's funny is like when we were playing the D&D game, we came across some boulder traps. Not here because we never got to Sens Fortress, but we were in the like Catacombs of Catharsis from 3. And if you know that, they have those skeleton balls. And I swear, you have to throw a dexterity saving throw every time or just get knocked off the platform. It kind of sucked. Well, there was a chance. There was a chance you'd get knocked off the platform. Like, it rolled a d3, you either get pushed back and flattened, which could do an ass ton of damage to you, but if you're tanky, you can survive. Or it throws you off of either side, and so basically, like, 2 was in the middle, 1 was to the right, and 3 was to the left. And you got wrecked if you got yeeted off of it, because there was no surviving that unless you had fly. Which, granted, I think at that point one of us had the spell, like the ability to cast fly, but no one else did. Although to be fair, the angel was just straight up able to fly, so not like it was that big of a deal on her end. In fact, I'm pretty sure she just flew over the whole trap. Yep, just waiting for the boulders to come by. Wonder what these... You know, I wonder where they keep getting the resources to make all these balls, because there's a giant back there that's just basically making these and putting them in there infinitely, and I'm just like, what, does he have like a bag of holding, or like a really massive bag of holding, but like it also for some reason spawns infinite boulders? Because that's what it kind of feels like. And here we got this ring of... why am I doing words badly? Ring of Still Protection. Very useful ring. Basically increases your physical defense. It's really nice. It actually provides more protection than most armor in the game, which is kind of odd, but you know, there you go. Nice ring, just a general use ring for like any build, really. Kind of no matter what you're going for, because at some point you're going to get slapped by a mundane weapon. It's just kind of inevitable. Yeah, this guy was giving me a bit of, well, not really about trouble. I mean, I did manage to backstab him. Because I couldn't remember, like, going halfway through this, I'm like, can you backstab these guys? And I tried it on him, and I'm like, yep, you can. Still kind of difficult to do, though. Yeah, they kind of try to trick you with that little trap there. Make it think it's going to come back from behind you. But if you know what's going on, you can just quickly turn around after you press it, keep your shield up, and just block it from even hitting you. And you actually can go right here and jump down onto that platform, or if you're feeling ballsy enough, run around the corner and actually go into the room where the boulders are being thrown from. Though you'll probably get hit at least once by a boulder doing that. I've done it without getting hit by it, but you have to be really quick and like on point to do it, and it's kind of hard to do. Bunch of statues of Silver Knights in here. We'll get to them soon. Well, soonish. And I actually make use of the Lloyd's Talismans. If you didn't know so, you can use them to actually disable mimics. And another way to tell if a chest is a mimic is you've probably seen the chains that are next to them. If it's curled inward, like inward, that means it's to the like a chain to the ground, and that means it's not a mimic. If it's kind of like spluttered out, like, you know, just kind of fanned out away from the chest, and not like somewhat curled up, then that means it's a mimic. That's actually how you tell the difference between the two. Also, when you're going through this elevator, make sure you go through immediately. You're about to see why. See how it goes up like that? Yep, there's spikes. That will kill you. So yeah, this place is a literal death trap. There is no other way to explain it. That door is locked. I know there's a way to go back and open it, and I'll probably do that later. I haven't done it as of yet, even up to the end of the gameplay recording. Like I said, that's going to be something I'll do later on down the line, but it will be something that I will get to eventually. So now that you're up here, you can actually adjust where it goes. And if you remember that wall that that snake was leaning against, you can use this boulder to basically go down there and open up that wall, and you will be able to find someone very useful later down the line. But since we can't really do much with him yet, I was not going down there yet, as we need a key to go bust him out of a cage. But that'll come in the next video anyway. I think I just set it over here, just so it's not like hitting us when we decide to go back down there. So yeah, the giant's actually above this room. Just throw it, hucking rocks in here. I think I went to look at to see what the item was down there, but I decided not to go for it. Not sure why. More arrow traps, this time from the left. Talk about dexterity saving throws. I think our tank was like riddled with arrows in a few different places where there were some of those kinds of arrow traps. I know there was one where it was like the whole room was just like filled with like 20, 30 of them, like some ridiculous amount of arrow traps. So when we ended up going into that place, it was just like, okay, tank enters the room. All of a sudden, all the arrows comes back, looks like a pincushion. A pincushion that's bleeding, mind you. Yep, snake tries to bite us. He's trying to get a backstab on him. Didn't quite work out. He's kind of an asshole. I mean, all the snakes are kind of assholes in here. They honestly kind of remind me of like more snaky Yuan Ti from D&D, but you know, Yuan Ti are kind of more humans. Less snake. And actually, something that I think it's going to come up here in a second. We're going to see it. Well, actually, I have two more of these snakes I need to fight, and then we'll get to it. But there's an attack one of them does that I actually didn't even know they did until this run, because they've never hit me with it before. Like, ever. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm too aggressive with them, and I was just like holding my shield up, waiting for them to attack, then go, and then they did it. Because I thought they were going to do a normal bite, and then they ended up doing a grab. You'll see that when we go up to the bridge up ahead. And don't worry, I didn't die from it. I mean, it almost killed me, but, you know, I lived. Unlike this guy. Popping off Estus like there's no tomorrow, but I know this area pretty well, so we're not far from where the bonfire actually is. More of those knight statues all around this place. Yeah, there's a lot of like different architecture you can find. Some of it has a bit to do with the lore. Not quite all of it though. So yeah, I just kind of shot him with the pyromancy. He's useful for little situations like that. And be careful here because there are two more traps. Yeah, I know, not too much lore to talk about right now, but a lot of the items that we're going to collect that are going to have things to talk about will be later on in part 2. That being said, we do have to progress through this place, and showing you how to get through it is kind of part of this process. At least I hope anyone who hasn't played this will appreciate it. So, you go through this fog gate, and the bonfire is in the most, like, asshole area, because if you don't know it's there, you might never know it's there. So you literally just go up here, walk over to your right, and just hop down here, and there's the freaking bonfire. It's kind of a dick move to put it here, but you know, it's Dark Souls, what do you expect? But anyway, that's the end of this part. Alright, this has been McMulligan. I hope you all have a great day, and take care.